E allora chiamo Mohamed Hureini, attivista e abitante del villaggio palestinese di Attuani, al centro anche del documentario No Other Land. Vieni, Mohamed. Thank you to be with us.
Buonasera a tutti. I think I will speak in English because I don't speak Italian. I have no words left after what Yusuf said, actually. And what I'm going to say is another story of the same context. I'm already living in the West Bank, but I'm already a refugee living there in my homeland. I'm a third-generation Nakba survivor. My grandparents were forcibly displaced in 1948 from their homes. Two brothers of my grandfather were slaughtered, and they fled to the West Bank. Israel, of course, invaded the West Bank and the Gaza Strip in 1967. And, it turned the Gaza Strip into a ghetto and open-air prison, as well as the West Bank. It imposed multiple policies in the West Bank, what we are now facing from forceful displacement, when they declared my community as a firing zone. As in their propaganda, which they are good, they are saying that it's not safe for Palestinians to stay in these areas. And we don't know who is the initiated person of the firing zone and what's his purpose of that. I think most of you should know about Ariel Sharon, the Prime Minister of Israel in 1967, when he says, as initiated person of the firing zone, it was all intended for one purpose, which is to provide an opportunity for Jewish settlements in the area, in the West Bank. So there are more than 18% of the West Bank are declared as a firing zone. They say for Palestinians it's not safe to stay there, but for Israeli settlers who I don't know from where they come from the world and settle in illegal settlements, they have more rights than we do. Living in firing zone means that you are denied from having a shelter, water, electricity, the basic infrastructures, the basic human rights. To have education, you need to fight to get it. The schools being demolished, but we rebuild again. Homes being demolished, and we rebuild again. We are, most of my community are obliged to live in caves because they are denied from having a house. Every week there are demolition of homes. If demolition doesn't work to kick us out, and if the Israeli military doesn't work by its oppression and intimidation on a daily basis by conducting live trainings from helicopter tanks between the villages, they release their militias, the Israeli settlers. For me and for every Palestinian, there is no difference between an Israeli soldier and an Israeli settler because they are all settlers and they are all trained by the Israeli government, armed to attack and kill and slaughter Palestinians and to evict them from their homes. For decades we have been facing this, and the level of bloodshed and genocide and brutality that we reach nowadays is because of the ignorance of the international community of the Palestinian cause, since the early beginning. 2 months ago, another friend was murdered by an Israeli settler, Yenon Levy, in the middle of his village. The next day, the Yenon Levy came back to the same village where he used to continue its ongoing planning and building their illegal outposts, and under the protection of the Israeli army. So, whatever we are facing in the West Bank is not comparable to what our people in Gaza are facing, actually. But we are still under the same systematic regime that was built and established to erase our population. Now we are standing here. Tomorrow in 5 days, I will go back home. We don't know who will be the next victim who will be murdered in cold blood. And we're still talking about peace. Maybe there's a different, the definition of peace that we have nowadays is different from the real peace that we should talk about. The nowadays peace we're talking about is a colonial peace. Because when we talk about peace, everyone should have his rights back, his lands back. More than 7 million Palestinians in the diaspora, in different countries of the world, need to go back to their homes and to their land that was stolen. I need to go back to where my grandma and my grandfather were forcibly evacuated from their homes, and to hold every war criminal accountable. Your media has been also complicit towards what's been going on in Palestine. Most of the Western people are uneducated of what's going on in Palestine. Why? Because of the complicity of your governments and your media that's been supported by the Israeli government. I mean, Israel has invested millions, if not billions of dollars to control the narrative, its narrative, washing its crimes on top of Palestine that's been committed against the Palestinians. And maybe we think that the support of the Western countries towards Israel to be created in Palestine is a way of trying to sanitize their history against the Jewish people. But actually, it was a solution to solve your European Western anti-Semitism that started from here. And then you were calling us anti-Semite people. We are Palestinians, we are a people who are welcoming anybody in our homes and land, but not in a colonial power. Nowadays, an American soldier, I mean the US forces who created most of the conflicts in the Middle East, who carried a brutal and disgusting war crimes. No one could dare to say about them they are terrorists. An Israeli soldier, he killed more than 20,000 kids in Gaza. He's been called a soldier and a commander, not a terrorist. Didn't you see that this system, like this global system, there's a big gap in it? That white matter than brown and more than black people. We need to look back again for our human values and to recorrect. And you need to sanitize what your government has already done. I mean, we are here to send our messages, so now you are our passengers. Tomorrow I'm going back home. I don't know what will happen to me because already 3 weeks ago, Israeli soldiers have raided my house and they were looking for me and telling my father to send my greets to him and saying, okay, we'll meet him soon. Because Israel doesn't want anyone to spread out Israel's war crimes. What would you do to the thousands of Palestinian prisoners or hostages who are held with no charges until today? Yesterday, there was a 22-year-old journalist, older than me 1 year. He was jailed for administrative detention. For most of you who don't know administrative detention, that you are held with no trial, and who is facing diabetes. And he was killed just because of the torture and the absence of the medical care to him. I have no words to say more. And we need to stop from talking, and we should do an actions to look for a just future that where justice, peace can be reached. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed.